After wind tunnels, simulators, and crash labs, it was time for
It's big.
the real world.
Spicy turkey jerky?
After all, that's how you'll test the new, larger Saturn L-Series wagon.
That'll be $653.59.
And so our engineers did too, just to make sure that extra space measured up.
What if there's a 2-for-1?
And now all of us at Saturn can say with confidence, there isn't a single thing we left out.
Ah, what a wonderful trade that Costco trade was, wasn't it? So, why did I play it? Well, I have played this same play many times, where especially if Costco has a move down on a seemingly A-OK earnings, and you look at the contracts and they're IV'd out of the wazoo, it's always one of my favorite plays. And this one was absolutely epic. And had the market, we sold the top right here, okay, for 320% or something. You could have jumped out and ran there. I was just chilling. I was hoping that that market reversal would stick. That's why I jumped out when it looked like it didn't, because Costco is a very easy stock to trade, but obviously you don't want to sit in it when it's not a good market, but it really respects the MAs. Tomorrow, if we have a ripper of a day, I am going to be buying... Oh, jeez. When alerts hit different. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't mean to startle you. That was my ES alert going off. Glad I didn't jump in. So yeah, tomorrow, look, if the market is ready to rock and roll, this is the price that I want to see Costco. Therefore, 570s could work. They could see, I mean, look at that daily candle. That is no joke. And why am I looking at it? Well, the reason being, sometimes after a Costco stick, you get follow through, like there, or here, you get the next day follow through, like there. Even when the market's going down, you get some follow through. So I didn't swing, but it's still my main watch because it can go. Costco's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be where everyone goes and pays for inflated goods. All right, what else? Let's get to it. Well, okay, so what did we do? We sold down to the gap and had a sizable bounce. Now, let's look at the details. We did not, I repeat, not fill the gap. Just like when Apple was doing its thing and it did not fill the gap. And then it messed around for a few days and then it went to fill the gap. That is what I think will happen within a week. I think if tomorrow we are to have this full moon rally we have been looking out for, we should, if we can gap here, just put this here as a reminder, is 4291, okay? If we can gap above that and go, we are most likely gonna go all the way up to here. This would be a great rejection point because that's the 9MA and it's close to the gap, and to go all the way down, break this trend line, fill this gap, okay? By when, Grandpa? See this trend line here? And this. They both are gonna... I have a sharp down move, listen to me, from October 4th to Thursday the 12th. Okay? Then it's time for Jimbo Kramer to put on some lipstick and get his ass under the mistletoe, because Santa's gonna come to town. Okay, then it's Santa Rally. What do I base this upon? Well, there's several factors, and we've talked about it, but I've actually found something that completely corroborates this. All right, so where are we? We are right there. Okay, now I'm seeing more of a bounce and then a violent sell than we have, here. But still, all of them show up. Even the old sports almanacs show it. Just to put your mind at ease here. We're somewhere here. We could be there. We could be right there. But we're gonna have a relief bounce. We should, and then a sell-off, and that's the bottom. Okay, even on the old sports almanac, that one though shows the bottom in late October. But since Congress, need to get their debt deal out of the way, look. They're gonna fund this shit show again. Do not get fooled that they won't. They have to. Now look. No one knew who's getting on the train because they literally can't unless they have the direct link. But for whatever reason, sharing all of this put me in the shed on social media. So, prepare for Santa Rally. Then next year, look, you don't have to be a genius to see that it's the old playbook from the 1920s that is happening in America, okay? All these dudes coming in. Next year is going to be an absolute shit show. All right, so again, what was the most alarming thing about today? That guy... this trend line, it going above it, okay? This is a huge deal. We haven't traded in this environment unless you were trading back in the day. Like, really back in the day. Unless you were trading in 2007, you have not traded this environment. This 10-year yield is no joke. It will cause major destruction. Okay? Now, what could this look like? This could look like relief bounce. This comes falling out the sky. And then once it sends it from this trend line at some point up to retest, that is the whole Santa Rally. Beyond that, could get pretty dicey. The dollar put in a double top there. Wonderful. Came down. Let's see if this actually rolls over. It would be nice if it did. The VIX also a double top here. Can it roll over? Yes, it can. And probably will. I feel that it will. And it's got a long way to go down now. So, that could be more of a major top. Comes down. Boom, and then pukes. So that's what we essentially will be on the lookout for. Market risk, dear train riders, is 305.2. Why is that? Well, because the 10-year yield. Now, let me show you, and if you can do this, and I'm never touching my Costco window ever again, see this divergent bars indicator? It should be down here. It glitched out. And now I have it on the big screen here. And look at that. That's where I decided I was going to hold it. And that is literally where I sold it. Okay? If you can keep this volume shelf, it will pump higher tomorrow. But look at that. Green bar. Boom. Off we go. That's the top. chop, 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 found the floor, boom. The reason I didn't sell here was because the MAs were going wild. Anyways, Meta, I know Ron or Dom caught it. What a move. I was on my break, but like, what a freaking move. LMT, it did hit 405. That could be a double bottom already. I'd like it to fill that gap though. So it might fill that gap when we puke after our relief rally. Now, as far as the thing I'm looking at tomorrow is NVIDIA. It's built this volume shelf. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of basing. It closed on the 9. If we get a 2-day relief rally here, I would not be surprised if they pump the living crap out of it, forming a head and shoulders type of dealio here. Obviously, Carvana is held above that buy level we had. I'm not playing it. I don't really know why, but anyways, Tesla, maybe on Friday. More so interested in Apple lagging. Hold on, where did you go? More so interested in Apple lagging here heavily. I mean, I understand why, but if we are to go, again, 175s are very, very cheap. These could easily, absolutely fly. It depends on the PPT. But yeah, so that's the game plan for SPY here is don't get blinded that the bottom is necessarily in. This is SPY's trend line. It went below it though. It's not the same as SPX. But if you look, you know, sometimes like right there, and then obviously the October one, all it needed was one tap below. So keep in mind, SPX has not filled its gap yet. SPY had a false breakdown of the trend line. That is the big difference here. Okay, so again, not trying to mess up my week here. Hold on. Shit. Not trying to mess up my week, so I'll be looking at some 0 DTEs on SPY and QQQ. I'll be looking at NVIDIA and I'll be looking at Apple. Again, I would like a gap up tomorrow on jobs or whatever BS data they're gonna feed us. I guess there's European data. Wonderful. Oh, GDP, yeah. GDP could put in a good move. Jobless claims. Then we got Japanese data tomorrow. And we got inflation reports from Europe. And obviously, yeah, that's going to be huge. And then on Friday, core PCE. So if we hold these levels, then Friday, I think we're in for a rocket ship. Some puts came in. Now we're starting to see some action on both sides. That news we pumped on was Mitch McConnell. Okay, the market makers were not set up for him to do that. So this is also something we gotta keep in mind here. We also have tomorrow D. Cook. Okay. So that's something to look out for. That could do something. Whoa. And KRE needs to wake up. Still pretty much doing nothing. If you took that Oxy starter, that was a 300% move. So congrats if you held. And as far as this, nothing major, at least when I looked last. Let's see it update. Some SPY dark pool, some QQQ flow. All right, so again, all eyes on Costco, NVIDIA, and Apple tomorrow. If this market goes, I would like a gap up and go. All right, I would love to leave a gap there, because that would kind of give us confirmation that we indeed are gonna come back down. All right, love yourself, love your family, and God bless. And hey, since nobody can join via TikTok, I need to get my Twitter followers up a little bit. So if you could please follow at Mr. Moontrain. And obviously, if you know anyone who wants to join under membership, there's a Linktree link that you can send them. All right, guys, I will see you bright and early tomorrow.